the trap, the other two traps are essentially the same. Like you try to respond to everybody and burnout. Like when you
Hmm.
try to respond to everybody, every comment and stuff, you're gonna lead yourself to burnout. Or you try to put out so much content, you end up leading yourself to burnout, things like that. So watch out for those types of things. So,
Yeah, you got to control your exposure to people. You got to
mhm.
still, like, you're creating your fans. You got to find a way to balance that by providing levels of access. Right now, it goes
Yes.
back to the beehive. Right, I can only afford to be at the third
Nosebleeds.
outer uh, nosebleed level. Right, but the people that are more dedicated, willing to pay more than me probably, uh, right, are willing to do what it takes to get into my inner circle, right?
Yeah.
Say my $10,000 half nosebleed
Half
bracket.
nosebleed. Yep, that's
So
true.
you got to provide those layers because uh, but at what point do you provide those layers? Let's talk about that after, right? That'll be kind of fun discussion.
Yeah, let's talk about that after. Um, so yeah, then he rounds it all out with "Be careful of your privacy." Essentially, is that final chapter or that
Oh
final
yeah, he
bit
talks
of
about
it.
how he was jogging. He was so proud of it. He published his route
Yeah.
for his jog, and then everybody, his friends, are like, "You just gave away your house, honey bunch."
Yep. Or he's flying his drone, and the drone like picks up a little bit of or picks up the his license plate, and some people message him saying, we just found your house."
Here's your police report.
Yep. And he's like, I mean, yeah, it happens, but you have to be careful. You have to pay attention to that type of stuff, and as you are growing your business, it's just you gotta watch out. Be careful of your privacy, and that's the other part of it. So, like you and I kind of started talking before this, where we were saying how the more I'm on, the more that I'm personally on social media, doing stuff with social media, the more I'm like convinced that social media should be illegal for people under 18, just because of some of the horrible stuff that I see on it and some of the things that start happening, that have been happening. And part of the reason why I say that is just parents are taking pictures of their kids or taking videos or including their kids in videos and stuff, and they're putting it out on social media.
Yep,
And there
and
are
they
like,
shouldn't.
yeah, they shouldn't be, because there are some horrible people out there who will take those pictures and stuff and just do horrible things with them. Oh.
Well, yeah, and
Ugh.
target, right? How do you make yourself a
Hmm.
how better to make yourself a target than to
Yep.
say, here's the catalog of little kids you can abuse.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. I just watched. Do you know the director Oliver Stone?
Yep.
So I just watched his JFK movie,
Hmm.
um, about the JFK assassination and an investigation into it, and he essentially he kind of the way I looked at it is it actually turns out that it's an anti-war movie, but Oliver Stone is anti-war anyway, so how surprised are we of that? Um,
I think that's a fair perspective as long as you're portraying it properly.
mhm, you're right.
You know,
I'm not like I'm not bashing him for it. It's just like, okay, it's an anti-war movie. Whatever. It's more of an anti-war movie than it is a JFK movie. I think in the
uh
end,
huh.
because the whole aspect of the movie is he sets it all up to be like JFK was working to try to pull America out of Vietnam and essentially stop the military industrial complex. But the military industrial complex didn't like that because they liked the money. So they enlisted members of the US government to assassinate JFK and put Lyndon Johnson in charge, who ended up perpetuating, or who ended up and was planning to perpetuate the Vietnam War, which meant that the military industrial complex would end up making billions and billions and billions. So
Like
that's,
now.
I mean,
Sounds
with a
very
certain
familiar.
war that's going on right now. I mean,
Right.
no,
There was no election fraud, and the right president was elected, and immediately there were wars everywhere
it was the safest, most secure election in the history of America.
in history of the world, and I believe it, Hillary. I promise.
I believe it too. So anyway,
Yep.
um,
So we on this channel stand officially on the public side that it was a fair election.
yes, yep,
There it is. So noted.
yep, 100%. So be it. So let it be written. So let it be done. Um,
So we set the authorities.
why did I bring that up? Because there was a reason I brought it up. What were we talking about?
Yeah, I don't remember. I just got sidetracked on the whole
Um,
$1 million houses that are going up thanks to the war efforts.
anyway, don't go too far down that rabbit hole. um, oh yeah. So there's a scene in that movie where the main character, he's a DA, a just district attorney in Louisiana, and he's going after investigating the JFK assassination and stuff. And so there's a scene where there's a phone call, and his little daughter picks up the phone, and this guy starts talking to her, essentially planning to kidnap her, because he's
uh,
like, "Oh, your dad entered you into a beauty contest. How would you like to do that? You go to this school, right? You get off school at this time, right? So there's this van that's going to be picking you up and taking you there, blah blah, all this stuff."
oh, bro. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the point, I guess, the reason why that came to my mind is because, like, people are putting all of these things out on social media of their kids, not
Yep.
realizing or not even thinking about the danger that they are putting their kids in, because
Yep.
now people know what their kids look like, and they can go after him and things like that. It's just like, this goes back to the more I'm on social media, the more I use social media for my businesses and stuff, the more I'm like, nope, kids
Uh-uh.
should not be on there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. Just in a lot of ways, it's developed very well to make your mind work in a certain way.
Yes,
And okay, great for adults, right? You're already anchored in your process and your values. But
hopefully.
kids are so pliable.
Yeah,
I
yep.
mean, if you're an adult and you're not, I don't care, right? You can be a loser. You can not know your values. You can think there's no such thing as absolute truth, right? If the whole world is your oyster and whatever your mood is, cool, right? But not for children.
Yep, yep, exactly. I agree. Alrighty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to switch over to our paid section, and we're gonna talk about some fun stuff there. So hopefully you pay.
Right? We're totally not going to talk about election fraud.
No, absolutely not.
We
There's no
already discussed that.
election fraud.
We are so
Never
official.
happened.
Yep.
Exactly. Most secure election in our lifetime
In history,
ever.
model.
So, model election. I think we're gonna leave it on. Cut it off at that laugh of yours. I think that'd be a good idea.
Right there it is. Oh, come on. George, they're going to impeach the girl in Georgia,
What? Which girl?
the one that brought the claim against Trump.
I'm so confused.
The prosecutor that brought the charges on Trump,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to impeach her
Well, under. Wow. Okay. That's. Wow.
for abuse of her position and political, you know, doing it basically doing it for political reasons.
I well.
Announced her campaign was starting, and the next 2 days later, she started the impeachment, the trial.
Huh.
So they're already the senators for the state already started talking about impeaching her.
Wow. Okay. That's makes sense.
Yeah, I guess they couldn't do anything before, and because it's just conjecture. But now that
Exactly.
she started it, they
Well,
can
yeah.
basically say, "Oh hell no, honey bunch."
Oh yeah. It's like, well, you opened up this can of worms. Here we
Right?
go.
I
You
couldn't
are
wait to
going to.
impeach you. You finally did it.
Yeah.
If you
you're
lose this
gonna.
trial, you're gone. Gone, gone,
Yep.
gone, gone, gone.
I really don't.
You gotta care.
I, my mom keeps trying to get me to care about all that stuff, and I'm like, Mom, I don't care. I've got other things that I'm really putting my energy towards. I just don't have enough energy to care about what you want me to care about. Go away.
Go away, mama. You're so mean. This is your mother. She
I
birthed you. She
know. I
carried you for so
know.
many months
I
in her belly.
I know.
When you were like a fish
I
squirming
know.
around, she was loving on you.
I know. I know. I'm a horrible son.
So terrible, son. She
Yep.
probably even comes, still does your laundry.
Nope.
No, do you like the laundry?
I like I have this thing where she comes and she wants to like do chores and stuff around the house for me, and I'm like, nope, nope, you don't, nope, you are not touching my stuff
No,
unless you ask me and I give you permission. You are not touching my stuff. You're not doing that.
you're just not doing it. Mama,
Yep.
I'm a big boy now.
It's just let me put it to you this way, okay? She came and house sat for me for a weekend once, and with took care of my pets, and I really appreciate that she did that. However, she what she didn't like was I had this container for my dog's dog food, and it was sitting out in my living my dining room because it was just easy access for me to go and get uh, go and buy or sorry access it and what am I trying to say here? Oh,
Yeah.
feed my dog. Okay,
Uh huh.
it was easy. It was good.
It was easy and good. And I was so happy.
Well, and so I also have a cat, and I give my cat dry food as well. The thing is that I would go and so I had a plan of okay, I've got a okay. The other part is I have a pantry, and honestly, it's a little pantry. There's not a ton of room in there for stuff. My plan was eventually to is eventually to get some stuff to hold the dog food and the cat food together in the pantry, so that it's easy for me to roll it in and roll it out, and then like scoop out the food. Well, I had a one container in the pantry that had the cat food, and the container is actually pretty big. It's way too big to hold the cat food. It's more for dog food. Um, but I got it, and I was using it, and that's where I put the cat's dry food.
Okay.
Well, my mom didn't like that my dog's dog food container was out and in my dining room. She didn't like that.
Yeah, yeah,
So what
makes
she
sense.
decided to do was take it on her to go and buy a another pet food container, one that is like tall and thin and can fit into my pantry, and
Okay.
put it in. And she went and she did that. Problem is, I already had in my head and already had planned out what I was going to get for them for the pets and their food. And
Mm-hmm.
so what she got essentially is made my life far more difficult because now the two pet food containers are sitting at the bottom of my pantry, and I have to fight with the two of them all the time to try to get the pet food and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So because she didn't like what I had right then, she made ended up making my life more difficult. So
Yeah,
I'm not I'm not happy about that.
yeah.
And she did all of that without talking to me first.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you. So now it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, you don't get me, do not get me anything, do not get me stuff from my house without talking to me,
Yeah, you're
or
gonna
without
system.
me expressly saying this is what I want for my house. Because what you did is you ended in because the way I see it is you didn't like something. So you went to make yourself happier, not to make me happier or to make my life easier. You went to do something for you and not for me. That's what it was. It was not I'm going to go do something nice for Alan. No. It was very much I'm going to do something because I think he should be doing it this way. It's like